But like, what does this picture tell me? Like, no, and again, it's a critique, so I'm not trying to like rip you apart, but like,
please do.
Well, yeah, but like, what does this picture say about you?
Okay. How's it going, guys? This is Patrick James here, and I give you raw dating advice that your mother would not approve of. And today I have a special guest with me. His name is Rob Judge from Date Hotter Girls. He's the author of Magnetic Messaging. He's the author of Unlock Her Legs. You might also know his partner, Bobby Rio. And today he's actually going to critique my Tinder profile. So to give you guys a little bit of a background on Tinder for me, and he knows this because he's one of my buddies, is I'm not a huge fan personally of me using Tinder, simply because I've never really taken the time to master it. But this guy, he's actually taken years to perfect the art, if you want to call it that, of texting girls, dating girls.
I mean, there's not much of an art to it. It's more of a craft.
Yeah.
You know, it's more something that it's very learnable. You know, there's not too much going on there. It's not really this high concept sort of thing. So we're gonna get into critiquing my Tinder profile. Let's just take a look at what I got. So, left. All right. Yeah. There you go. I really like that one.
All right. So just. I kind of want to, for the guys on watching this video, I kind of want to get, like, what are your thoughts as you look at my Tinder profile, and what are, like just kind of think out loud almost.
All right, immediately, I like that you're on Tinder Plus.
Am I?
Or are you not?
I think that's trying to sell me into Tinder Plus.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that my first recommendation would be just
Tinder Plus.
I mean, I'm a guy who buys girls drinks.
Yeah.
You know, the price of one drink.
Yeah.
You know, we're in Scottsdale. You know.
Of course.
So just splurge for the Tinder Plus.
So Tinder Plus, the $5-7 whatever it is that it's worth.
I got some promotional thing. I paid like $3 a month for it, and it's like the best $3 I pay every single month.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So let me pull this up. All right. So, well, what's kind of cool already is that Tinder will actually tell you what your top profile is. Do you mind if I show them your? So you got here. So Tinder actually does all the testing for you. So I used to speculate on what my best picture was, and I've been surprised at what comes back. So Tinder's going to give you some feedback already. So that's kind of cool. It's built into that.
I'll just say, so if you guys didn't see that, I have like 5 out of 6 pictures on there, and I kind of tried to make them all different. So you'll see I have a couple headshots, a couple people, like one with girls, and I did the Smart Photos feature where it tests them, right? It tests which photo gets swiped right on the most. And I was surprised, just like you said, to find that the one that got swiped right on the most was the one that I was with other girls in the picture with.
That's interesting too, because you know, previously I'd probably say not to do that, but like the fact that like this is working for you, I wouldn't change it. The other thing too is like no matter what advice you get, if it's working for you, just keep doing it. You know, and all dating advice, you know. But yeah, so it seems to be working, which is surprising to me too, because in the past, like for me, you know, it's funny. I did use pictures with girls, and not that any girl swiping would know this, but they were like, it was like a picture of me, my sister, my brother, or something. Yeah. But see, what's good about this picture that PJ has here, if you guys can see, is that it shows that he's social. It shows that that you get out, that you like to have fun. You have this sort of like kind of self-righteous smirk on your face, which I like, which is good. It's a good look. The biggest problem, I see in your profile, is that I'm not really seeing like a narrative, you know, because I'm like, see, like you have to think about this from the girl's perspective. Most girls actually do go through the pictures, and especially after you've matched, 100% they're going through. The one picture I do like, I like the picture of you and this little guy, this dog here.
Yeah.
If I can pull it up.
Yeah,
can I just go? Yeah, there you go. So this picture right here is good. But I would take this even to a greater extreme in terms of like giving her this narrative of who you are. This picture, I think, is the most important picture in your profile, even though it usually won't be the top picture or anything like that. Yeah. Because the reason that picture with you with like a small animal or a small child, or you doing something that shows you that you're compassionate is really important, is because keep in mind, you're on Tinder. These girls don't know you. You could be a fucking serial killer, right? And like I think every girl's like worst nightmare is like go out with some guy who's gonna be like super creepy or like be a rapist or like or whatever. Like insert nightmare Tinder story here. But this is a serious like this is something that as guys we don't think about. But girls absolutely do.
Dude, that's actually evolutionary. I saw Dr. David Buss in person a few weeks ago, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, girls, they're kind of hardwired to look for, is this guy going to be the type of guy who will help me raise my child, right?
Yes.
So pictures with a baby or even a puppy dog, he said, is actually proven to bring up the same kind of feelings.
Exactly. That's why I said small child, small animal. And especially like this is good. It's like, it's PJ sitting here, but like you could even make this better if it was like showed more of like affection, like more of like that emotion, like where you and him are like, or is it him or her?
It was a girl. I got rid of her because she cock blocked me a lot.
Oh,
just kidding.
Yeah.
She definitely liked to jump in the middle of makeout sessions. She would get jealous.
Yeah.
But I also had to get rid of her because my apartment complex didn't allow animals.
Yeah, said that.
Yeah.
Definitely, and this is what a lot of guys get wrong is that they don't include that picture, that compassionate picture, into their profile. So that will affect you, like not so much maybe like with matching, but down the line meeting up. I think it's so important to get that picture in because when you're showing that side of you, she feels more comfortable. She's like, okay, like he's like for me,
it's like overcoming the objection before it comes up almost.
Exactly. Like she like even though it's ridiculous to think this, she will feel safer because okay, like he's with a small kid or he's he's playing with his dog, so he must he can't be a serial killer. Like what serial killer would do that?
Fact, serial killers do not have dogs.
Is that a fact?
No.
That'd be cool. That'd be interesting. Like, okay, here's a picture of you on the beach, right? But like, what does this picture tell me? Like, and again, it's a critique, so I'm not trying to like rip you apart, but like,
please do.
Well, yeah, but like, what does this picture say about you?
I was like, oh, he's fit. He goes to the beach.
The fit is good, yeah. The active lifestyle is good, but I think that you could have done this with a better picture.
Okay.
Like, because this one's kind of blurry. It's kind of like it doesn't get that fully across. I'll give you like as an example, like on my profile. Not saying my profile is like the be all and end all. I have a picture of me doing like Muay Thai, like kicking something, and like so active lifestyle is really good. Like that's definitely something you want to get in there, especially if it's part of your daily lifestyle. But there's a better way to do it than this. Like the thing is like it has to be black and white because you said Tinder is very fast. It's very like swiping whatever. So you want to get that point across very quickly. Who you are, what your narrative is, and just like I'll go through all your pictures, but like really quick, I'll just reveal my the 5 pictures or the 4 pictures that I think is really important. It's like the compassionate picture, the social picture, the picture of you out with people shows that you get out of the house. So I said active, social, compassionate. You can do something like your adventures, that you travel, something like that. That always really helps. A picture for me that like shows that you have your shit together, like a picture, you put together, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a nice suit, but like shows that like you have some sort of eye for style, like eye for design, that kind of thing. And then I mean, other than that, like you just want to like look at every picture and look at it from like the story perspective. Another great picture. It's like a picture shows like some sort of talent that you have. Like for instance, like see behind us, like I painted these pictures, right? Like at some point when I these are kind of still works in progress, but like if I ever finish these pictures, like maybe taking a picture of me in front of these, or me like putting the finishing touches on it, because it's showing, or like or someone play the guitar, playing the guitar, doing something, showing aspects of your lifestyle. Like you want to make it, you want to give her, I always say it's like the movie trailer preview. You go to the movies and like the lights dim and like you watch these trailers, and the trailers are always like probably better than the movies themselves. I'm not saying like that your profile, Tinder profile is gonna be better than you, but you want to cherry pick like the 5 or 6 absolute best moments or best pictures that show a narrative, and a lot of the times, like a picture, I mean, no offense, a picture like this, like what's subtext? I mean, on the one hand, it's good because, like, like it looks like you have some style or whatever. There's some uniqueness about it, but at the same time, this doesn't really like I like the smirk, but since I know you now, this doesn't convey the PJ story. Like I know that you want to be conveying. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So you want to pick pictures that really capture your personality, and that's where like being honest with yourself and like looking at a picture and being like, even if you're kind of like it took you a while, you got all dressed up for it, but you really have to ask yourself, does this really show who I am? Like, what does this convey? And like, there are aspects of it in your facial expression, that kind of thing. Because facial expression can show a lot, and like, you know, and like attention to detail and the clothing that you're wearing. But like, I think this can be so much better.
Okay. So if you guys didn't see that, you'll see it on YouTube. But so this is like my profile picture that I have everywhere on my social media right now. So he's saying basically it doesn't really convey a whole lot to the girl who's like judging me based on my pictures, basically. So in what ways would you take a picture like this and kind of like spruce it up, I guess?
All right. Well, one thing, this is kind of like the quick fix for anyone that has a picture like this, you know, a headshot like this, is layer more clothing. Because when you're layering, you're showing more personality, right? Like in this, you have a crew neck T-shirt and a scarf, and this like necklace thing, which is like it's just kind of interesting, you know. It's kind of cool. So that the necklace works, but everything else, it's like, how interesting is this picture, you know? So if you have like, say, 3 layers on, say even you kept the T-shirt, but then you put on like a nice like patterned jacket or something, and that's the thing. A lot of guys are afraid to wear patterns or wear like stuff that stands out. But like I said, if you want to succeed on Tinder, you have to be bold. And this is another important thing, very minor thing, but this is actually something I meant to point out to you. The scoop neck, this is not a good idea. See, like it's all right because you have the V with the necklace, but see, like I don't even own a shirt anymore that doesn't have like some sort of V built into it. But
that's part of the reason why I started wearing this thing.
It's key, and a lot of guys don't consider this, but no guy considers like, why is a suit like considered fashionable? But like, look at how many V's, like you know, the lapels, the you know, like the way you're supposed to button the top button, all these different things, like you know, the way like a shirt collar. The reason that menswear has all these jagged V's is because that V is very flattering to the attractiveness of a man's face. So the more V's you can get in, the better. So that's why like I love the suit jacket. I love the top button, you know, whatever. So you want to layer up. You want to get those V's in. You want to pick colors that's flattering to your skin tone, to your hair color. You want to convey like, you know, a facial expression that makes you look interesting. Like, you know, like the shit-eating grin, like just a you look at like, you know, you look at every other guy. So that's why I like you know, like the smirk, or kind of like the like you laughing, or you know, you doing something that, like I said, you know, you don't want to be super fucking different. You don't want to be some bizarro guy, but you want to zig when she expects you to zag. So like every guy has a shit-eating grin, or else they have the James Bond. You know, so it's like what's a facial expression that she's not expecting that kind of like plays into your narrative about you. But the thing that I do like is like the non-distracting background is very important. That's key. So that's really good. You know, and you could do that either by having like a plain white background, or by having the background kind of blurred out, you know, like a depth of field sort of effect. So that's kind of cool too. I guess like the filter you want to run every single photo through, whenever you're putting it on Tinder, and I even do this in social media in general, is what's the subtext? Okay, like, because everyone looks at a picture, right? Like I had this buddy back in Vegas, and this guy was like, he was a really cool guy. He was asking me to help him with this Tinder profile. But his first picture was a picture of him in front of this like lime green Lamborghini, and he had this like shit-eating grin. He was like, he looked like a used car salesman who had just like you know, won the, you know, company fucking, I don't know, like
employee
monthly
of the month.
Yeah, and he looked so excited to getting in this car, and I was like, dude, this picture, no. And then he was like, oh, but dude, it's a Lambo, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, the Lambo, look, like, it's fucking cool as shit that you have a Lambo, but like, when you're making this your profile picture, what's the subtext? This is like the coolest fucking thing that's ever happened to you, is getting this car that's like, you know, a dick extender. Again, this is coming from the guy, you know, Maserati, so it's not like, I'm not going to hate on, you know, driving or buying Italian cars, but I would never put a picture of me and my Maserati, or me, or doing anything trying to flaunt money as my profile picture, because what's the subtext of it? If the subtext is that like this, my life is so empty that this is what represents me. So it's kind of like you know, if like, you know, you were hanging out with like a celeb, like, you know, like a Dan Bilzerian guy, and like you don't show that off, but then she like sees it later on Instagram or like in passing, it comes up or whatever in conversation. Yeah. It's more just like, oh yeah, like this is just part of my reality. It's not a big deal to me.
It's like Tim Grover. He's like the trainer of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade. He said in his book, he's like, the loudest guy in the room has the most to prove. And it's like, if that's what you're showing them, it's like, and it's so outrageous and abnormal, then it's like, oh, this is the one time he hung out with a celebrity.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. So when you go a layer deeper and you zig when she expects you to zag, that's where you're going to catch her interest, and that's where you're going to catch her attention, and that's where where she's going to be like, oh, wait a minute, like that's interesting, let me sort of swipe right on this guy.
Interesting. So I really like what we've been talking about is like the pictures, but last thing I want to hit on is like the basics of your bio, because I don't know if you noticed, and I'll show you guys, I don't even have a bio, right? And because I purposely, so my thoughts was I couldn't think of anything witty to say or anything like, I don't even know what's good, so I just said, I'll probably just not put anything because that'll help me out rather than putting something.
No, okay. So I'm so glad you brought that up because that actually goes back to, that's another like classic way to get nailed by the algorithm.
Okay.
Because that's what spammers do. They don't fill out the profile. So you want something in profile, but I agree with you that like too much, because again it's like always go back to this idea. Run it through that filter of the movie. Like the movie preview, the movie trailer. Okay, like no one wants to see the whole movie in the trailer. No one wants to know like everything that happens in the movie. In fact, a lot of the times the trailers are actually kind of misleading about what the movie's actually about. So the thing is that you want to keep your profile short, sweet, and the only thing the profile for me is supposed to do is it's supposed to get her like intrigued, curious to learn more, and to get her like swiping through her, sometimes it would be like swipe through your pictures, and to get her to give her something easy to message you with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's the other thing too. A lot of guys, we don't think that like, oh, like there's a human being on the other end, and she's also wondering, oh wow, this guy's cute. I want to message him, and she's like wondering what should I say? So you want to make it very easy for her to message.
That's interesting. It's almost like a parallel to actually talking to women in person, because like a lot of times, just to kind of like test a girl, I guess, I'll like just not say anything and not break the silence just to see what kind of clever shit she might break the silence with. And almost always it's never clever. It's like, so what about the weather? Like,
is that crazy? Yeah, you can see the steams are coming out of your ears. Yeah, no, I know. And the thing is, I think anyone can relate to that. It's a very human thing. But I think as guys, we just assume that women, because like they're hot or whatever, that like they're these infallible, amazing.
And they don't have the experience of having to carry a conversation like we have to garner in ourselves. So it's not a strong muscle within them. So like what you're saying is basically like make your bio something to like serve up on a silver platter conversation material.
Exactly. Okay. Make it so easy for her to message you. Like, for instance, I mean, the one I use in my profile, which is like, because that picture of me looking at like, picture I painted. And my painting is just, yes, I painted that picture. Yes, I painted that picture. Don't ask about the quote or something, or something like that, or like, something to that effect, so that she's like, well, now I want to know about the quote.
So maybe, almost kind of like riffing off what you said there, maybe in some way kind of try to create an open loop, like you said, don't ask about the quote, right? Now she's wondering, what does that mean? What about the quote? Now she's focused on the quote. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So another one I use is like, yes, the picture's from Mexico, and I may or may not have been banned from the country, or something like that. So something to that effect. It's like, and if you read good fiction, or you read short stories,
or you watch TV, which I don't recommend, but they're really good at ending every episode with an open loop
where you want to learn more. Ultimately, that's what my whole course with Tinder was about. Was that, and that's what my whole strategy on Tinder is that like I'm not trying to give her the whole picture. My purpose on Tinder is just to give her enough to want to learn enough to meet me for a date, and then once I'm on the date, I know like my chances of and statistically, I have very good success rate on Tinder dates because of that. Because as long as I can just get her to want to meet up, to be curious enough, and that's the thing is a lot of guys are not cognizant of that. So they give her the whole picture, they give her the whole story, they give her everything, in messaging and their profile, and then there's nothing left for her to discover about you.
That's interesting. So that brings up one last thing that I kind of thought of is like, I got this quote directly from your book, Magnetic Messaging, but it was basically like every time I catch myself kind of going too deep into like who I am on text and we're going back and forth too much, I'll literally just like cut the conversation and I'll say, you know, that sounds like a good conversation over a glass of wine or 7 or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's the whole thing. Is that see, a lot of guys when they hit a high point with a woman, they think, oh, I'm on a high point. Let me ride this one out.
Yeah.
And that's fine if you're in person, absolutely. Like, I'm all about the high points.
Yeah.
But when you're on text, when you get when she's like, you know, you say something, you know it hits, she's laughing really hard, or like, you know, something, you tell her something and intrigues her and she wants to know more.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to be evasive, oh, I'm not going to tell you or anything like that, but you want to like dangle it like bait to get her out, to get her to meet up with you, because you know, obviously any guy that's been on Tinder or even texting a girl knows that in this day and age it's not easy to get girls out. Like the whole idea of flaking and girls going ghosting and all this stuff, it's a serious problem. So, and this is how you remedy it, is that you make yourself so interesting that she has no other choice but to meet up with you. Otherwise, like that open loop is just going to spin in her head until she finally, you know, meets you for a date.
Yeah, perfect. So I want to kind of cut this short there, just because this is a basic rundown of like the basics of Tinder. You saw he critiqued mine. Obviously, I got a lot to go home and do. But where can they find you? Obviously, you have a book called Magnetic Messaging. Where they kind of find more of your stuff?
Yeah, go check out robjudge.net. A bunch of free articles on there. Just a lot of stuff, like, you know, from the day I started giving dating advice, I was blogging on there. So it's a little bit more introspective, but you know, and you can find all the information to like, you know, products and all that on there. But you know, also if you want to just look at like, you know, some of my writing, that kind of thing, it's all there for free.
Awesome, man. Well, that was raw dating advice that your mother probably would not approve of. This is Rob Judge, and we will see you guys later.
Okay.